Hello, my name is Bryan B. I'm a member of New Beginnings Clubhouse, and I would like to share a little bit of my story with you. My mental health journey began in 1980 at the age of 10. I was suffering from childhood depression, was suicidal, and back then they didn't give medicines to kids for that type of thing. And what they would do is just tell you, to walk it off, so to speak. If you're depressed, I'll give you something to be depressed about, was a statement that I heard many times growing up. And I wanted to die. I literally would pray for death at age 10. I didn't know it was called depression, but looking back, I can see that's exactly what I was as a child. So that started early. The hallucinations and stuff actually started in my 20s. But before I do that, I'd like to say what drew me into the world of drug use and alcohol. I had a fiance. We were high school sweethearts, and we were fit to get married, and she died in a tragic house fire approximately 2 weeks before we were going to move in together and get married. And I turned to drugs to try to find answers, try to figure out what life really was all about. I did the drugs to escape as well. But wherever you go, there you are. You can't escape yourself. So that drug use didn't help. I did psychedelics to try to find answers. I smoked a lot of marijuana and I drank a lot of alcohol. At my worst, I weighed 128 pounds and I was 6 foot tall. Now I weigh 214. The psychedelic gives an illusion of help, an illusion of answers, but it's unreal, it's not real, and it's not tangible, and when you come down, nothing has been solved. So I turned to religion to find an answer. My religion saved my life because it forbade me to drink or use intoxicants. It saved my life. And no, you don't have to go to a religion, I reckon, but you do have to find some spirituality if you're dually diagnosed. At least I had to. And that dual diagnosis now is schizophrenia with bipolar, schizoaffective disorder it's called. And my drug use did not help that. It did not help that. I would recommend to anyone that is trapped in that, drugs are not the answer. Alcohol is not the answer. And when I hit 26 is when I first was told that I have schizophrenia, they said. They said schizophreniform disorder. They initially thought, because of my psychedelic use, that it may be tied to that, it may not. That's the danger in playing with those drugs. But I do know that it doesn't matter how I got it, because the doctor said I possibly would have gotten it anyways. And that just might have been what triggered it earlier than expected. They were hallucinations, delusions, paranoia, disassociation. I definitely had disassociation. I am a survivor of sexual abuse from a young age, but I don't talk about that. I had lots of hospitalizations, went to rehab 4 times before I quit alcohol. I went countless times to psych wards. I don't know how many times. I stopped counting after 20. But bottom line is, you go through it, and at first I remember punching in the air at people I was seeing, though, and screaming and cursing, and that was my reaction to hallucinations. A lot of schizophrenics have that reaction initially. I think in time, though, you learn that yelling and screaming doesn't affect the hallucination. It doesn't change it. It doesn't make it go away. So now, if I have persistent symptoms, I deal with them very differently than I initially did. And it took years in practice. The good news is I'm stable. I've been taking my meds, and my symptoms, while they are persistent, they still go on today. But they're not as intense, and they're not as long acting, if that makes sense. And so if I take my meds, I can lead a somewhat normal life. Last hospitalization was 2023, and they recommended to me to go to this program called New Beginnings Clubhouse. They said you'd be a good candidate for it. But in reality, everyone with a mental illness diagnosis is a good candidate for this place. Coming here has helped me with meaning and purpose. There's dignity in work, and this is a psychosocial rehab program where work order day is the order of the day. You come here, you have structure, you have friends who will become family in time. So it's been very enjoyable. My goal right now is to go to the program of transitional employment. I've signed up for it, I'm on the list. Transitional employment is a wonderful opportunity for people who've had a spotty work history due to mental illness. I lost a lot of jobs due to episodes at work and also outside of work that affected my employment. It's hard to hold down a job. I'll put it that way when you have challenges of mental illness. Transitional employment is wonderful because the staff of New Beginnings Clubhouse will actually go to that job and work it if you're having a bad day and can't do it, or having symptoms that have flared up. So I would say transitional employment, while it's only temporary, 6 to 9 months, it reintroduces the people to the workforce in a way that is geared towards success. Even if the person has symptoms, because they still have that job. They won't lose it. They won't lose the job. It'll be waiting for them when they come back. And that amazes me. I want to be a part of that. That's the first goal. The second goal was to become social with people because I isolate. I stay at home, I live by myself, and I isolate. It's a common thing with people with diagnosis. And I'm no different. So I come here to socialize, make friends, and I actually call some people here family. Yes, family. I learned coping techniques and tools. I have a tool belt. A couple of the tools I can share if you would like. One of the tools I can use is 12-step program. And I do a 12 program that's tailored toward my religion. And I find it helps me. I read on it often. And I use these things. I use the things they teach you in that program, like 1 is too many and 1,000 never enough. That's one tool. There's so many tools. I can give you one prime example. My brother, older brother, Bart, took me to a ball game, and it was packed with people, a good 14, 15,000 people there, I guess. I'm starting to have symptoms. I'm seeing things. I'm begin to panic. My brother notices something is wrong and asks me what is wrong. And I tell him what's happening to me. And then he tells me, Bryan, what do you think is more likely than not? That people came here to talk about you? That people come here to do you harm? Or that they come here just to watch a ball game? And something clicked. And I understood instantly, he's right. He's right. Can I take that from you? And he goes, what? I said, that trick you just gave me. Yeah, that was amazing. Because then I could finally be in crowds. Yeah. And I called it a reality check. That's one of my tools on my belt, a reality check. If something's happening, if I'm thinking something that may be delusional or not, I ask someone I trust. If I'm thinking paranoia, I ask someone that I trust and they tell me what is happening. I find that reality check lets me function in society a little bit. So I'm very grateful for that tool that my brother gave me. And there's other tools too. I mean, I got one tool that I used to have out-of-body experiences with my disease. And I would look at my hands and study the detail of my hands, and I would go back in my body, so to speak. I would have it like, it's hard to explain, but it was a trick I learned. Everyone has a story. We should respect each other's stories. There's something to learn in it. There's something to be gained from it. I hope what I've shared today will help someone. I dug kind of deep inside of myself to share. If anyone can relate, check out New Beginnings Clubhouse. Come on in. You're welcome. You're with family. And life can get better.